What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another edition of the Triple Threat Show. As always, I'm your host, Mara Fatemi. No Jeremy Lapidus with me, no Nolan Jambor, just me, and we're all ready to go, geared up for a great show. This is going to be a little bit of a quicker show than normal, just because I do have to go to work here in a little bit, but we still got to get at it. It's Wednesday. You know how the schedule keeps going. Got to keep the ball rolling. For today's show, we're just going to deep dive into the NFL because after Week 12, I think I'm speaking for a lot of people. The NFL is a absolute shit show. Top down, nobody knows who's coming out of the NFC. Nobody knows who's winning the Super Bowl. Hell, the Kansas City Chiefs might miss the playoffs. With all due respect, but before we get started, before we go any further, I want to remind you to please like and follow the show for more Triple Threat Show content. Also, be sure to follow us on all of our pages on Instagram at the Triple Threat Show, on TikTok at the underscore Triple Threat Show, and if you want to follow me at Rob Sports Takes. Across the board, you can follow us everywhere and anywhere you can get your podcast. So on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcast. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. But let's dive deep into it because let's start with the AFC a little bit. Patriots take down the New York Giants. First team to reach 11 wins. 11 wins. Sorry. But 11 wins. This is a team that nobody even thought was going to get 5 wins. Now, outside of me, if you guys want to check the tapes, the receipts, me and my good friend Trey Glotis went on here about 3 months ago, and told everybody Patriots are going to make the playoffs. They're going to win the AFC East. They're going to get at least 11 wins this year. At least 10. I said 11 to 12. They're sitting right now 11-2, the number one record in all of football with 10 straight wins. Their 2 losses came earlier in the season when they lost to the Raiders on opening day and they lost to the Steelers. Everybody knows at least the Steelers game, it was due to Ramondre Stevenson's fumbles and the lack of offensive cohesiveness. And then week 1 is whatever against the Raiders. This is a Patriots team that has continued to get better week in and week out. And I'm not saying that they're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that this team is good enough to even make the Super Bowl because the AFC still has some teams, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But I will say, Patriots get a nice bye week. Will Campbell is still on IR, but he gets a week to come back. He gets a week of rest. All the players get a week to rest. Milton Williams is waiting to come back. We saw Garrett Bradbury went down went down on the injury report with a late injury before Monday Night Football. There is a slew of injuries across this Patriots team. It's like there is on any team. Late in the season, it's December. We're gearing up for the playoffs, getting close to the end of the season. So this is a perfect time for the bye week, in my opinion, for the Patriots. On top of that, coming straight out of the bye, they host the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Buffalo Bills are a team that's a little bit on the wishy-washy side. Josh Allen's showing signs of his 2023 self. Still throwing for a lot of touchdowns. Still just broke the record for most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in NFL history across his career. I think he just broke it with 64, broke Cam Newton's record. Still throwing for a lot of touchdowns. But his interceptions, his inability to throw the ball away, his offensive line getting dominated. That game against the Texans exposed them, in my opinion. The same way that they got exposed by the Patriots, the same way that they've gotten exposed by multiple teams this year. Even by the Miami Dolphins in Miami. This team is not they're still a good football team, but they can be beat. I'm still saying the Bills are going to go into New England in 2 weeks and beat them. I am. I seriously believe that this is a Buffalo Bills team that's going to be motivated, highly motivated to win this game, going to be ready to go, dialed in to get a win. But on the other side, you already beat the Bills in Buffalo. You don't have a whole lot of pressure. You do have some pressure on you because people are waiting to see how you react when you face a good team. This is a Patriots team that's gotten the cupcakes schedule allegations against them. But all in all, they have all the pieces to be successful. They are playing in 2 weeks with house money. If they go out there and beat Buffalo, and then the following week when they travel to Baltimore, that's another really, really big game for them. All the Patriots need to do is go 1-1 in these next 2 games, I think, and they're fine. They don't need to hear any allegations. They don't have to hear anything. They don't have to hear anybody saying that they're not good, that they're not good enough, that they're a fake football team. They can go out there and solidify that they are the Patriots have an opportunity in 2 weeks to just pretty much put the NFL on notice that they're going to the Super Bowl. That is how wide open the AFC is. That is how wide open it is. If you can beat Buffalo twice, and you can beat Baltimore, and you can beat Cincinnati, you didn't face Kansas City or Indy, but oh well. You've pretty much said you're the best team in the AFC because you're beating pretty much all the best teams in the AFC. With that all being said, Patriots have controlled their destiny. That's that. Going to the other teams across the conference. Denver Broncos. Let's start with the Broncos. Let's talk about the Denver Broncos for a second because this is a team I don't even understand anymore. You're telling me this team is 10-2? 10-2. A team that pretty much came back from 33-8 in the fourth quarter against the Giants. The team that had to go to overtime against the 3-8 Washington Commanders. Guaranteed, don't get me wrong. Terry McLaurin was back. Marcus Mariota had a great game. I get it. I get all of it. The team that lost to the Colts in week 3, granted the Colts. I'm not saying they're a bad team. But I do think the Broncos have more fraud allegations against them than the Patriots. That is what I will say. This is a team that has a great defense. They have a great defense. They probably have a better defense than the Patriots do. But they don't have a better offense than the Patriots do. Bo Nix isn't a better quarterback than Drake May. He's not nearly as accurate. He just throws the ball a lot. They don't have nearly as good of a running back as the Patriots do in Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson. All the Broncos have are R.J. Harvey and J.K. Dobbins, who's now hurt. Yeah, you might have a better wide receiver in Courtland Sutton, but not that much. Stephon Diggs is still really good. And on top of all that, the cohesiveness, the lack of... They're just always... They're very inconsistent. They're a team that needs to spark, and if they can't get that spark, they sputter out. If they can't get the offense, if they can't get the run game going, they sputter. If Bo Nix doesn't throw the ball accurately, they sputter. If he throws picks early in the game, they sputter. It's about how you finish the games. I get it. You finish the games, you do well. But I want them to go up against a good team. I want them to face off against a really good team and beat them. Yes, they beat the Chiefs. Cool. Congratulations. Go beat the Packers. Yes, it's in Denver. Go beat the Packers. Go beat Jacksonville. Go beat Kansas. You have to play Kansas City again. Go beat the LA Chargers. If they can beat these teams, maybe I'll be a little more lenient on them. And I want to be lenient because this is a team that has kind of shown up out of nowhere too. And I like Bo Nix. I think this is still a good football team. But 10-2? 10-2? I don't know about 10-2. 10-2 is a different story. Other than that, we're going to talk about the Colts that got bum rushed by the Chiefs last week. If you can stop Jonathan Taylor, also Daniel Jones is playing hurt. So that's another part of it. But if you can stop Jonathan Taylor in the run game, in the flats, in the receiving game, if you can just minimize his usage, if you can minimize his efficiency and his playmaking skills, this is a Colts team that can be beat as well. They don't have the greatest defense. I'm not saying they have a bad defense, but they don't have the greatest one. And like I said, Daniel Jones isn't playing 100% right now. He's hurt. I think this is a team that can be beat. I think the Texans might actually overtake them for the AFC South. If I'm being honest, the Texans might be a more dangerous team than the Colts right now with the way that they're playing. The way C.J. Stroud has just come back. Nico Collins looks like he's been revitalized. That defense looks monster. Looks absolutely unbelievable right now. The Texans are still really good. I think they're probably dark horses in the AFC. The Chargers, I'm talking about them. They're getting Omarion Hampton back soon. Their offense looks pretty good. Herbert is still good. Keenan Allen is still really good. You still have Ladd McConkey there. You still have the young rookie tight end that they got, Gadsden. But at the end of the day, when you don't have an offensive line, I can't trust you to get it done in the playoffs. I can't do it. I can't do it. The Chargers are a good team. They're not a bad team. When you don't have an offensive line, they're on their third stringers in terms of tackles, left tackle and right tackle. You're telling me that this is a team that can compete with the Patriots, with the Texans, with the even the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have a pretty stud defense, the Broncos, any team that can get pass rush pressure on Justin Herbert is going to have success against the Chargers. It's just going to happen. Unfortunately, it's the name of the game with the Chargers this year. They have a great football team. They have great pieces around, but you need a good offensive line. You need a steadfast offensive line to win come playoff time. That's all. That's my only thing the against the Chargers. Like I said, even the Jaguars, their offense is kind of putrid, and like I said, the Chiefs might not even make the playoffs. There's a really high likelihood that Chiefs don't even make the playoffs. They're 6-6 or 6-5, one of the two, and they're not great. You know, they still got to play the Chargers. They still got to play the Texans. They still got to play the Broncos. I'm expecting at least 2 losses there. So you're gonna tell me a 6-6 team that is still gonna have an 8-loss team could sneak in for the last playoff spot, but you're telling me an 8-loss team is gonna make the playoffs. Unfortunately, I can't agree with you there. That loss against the Cowboys pretty much shut the door on their dreams of being able to make a playoff. And if I'm Andy Reid, I'm just trying to strip down that defense and rebuild it. Just rebuild the entire defense. Get some guys in your secondary, get some guys for your linebacker positions, revitalize that defensive unit. Because you have a good running back in Kareem Hunt. You still have arguably the best quarterback, if not at least the second best quarterback in football right now in Patrick Mahomes. You still have Rashee Rice, who's still playing at a high level. Travis Kelce's going to retire, but so be it. You can get another tight end somewhere. You can either pick him up off the waiver, off the free agent market, or you can go draft one, whichever one you choose. But I think they need to focus on the defense. Their defense isn't horrible, but it's the reason why they lose games. When you lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars, your defense is the reason why you lose games. Their offense is not good enough to drop 34 points against you. The Cowboys' offense, yes, they have George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. Yes, the NFC is better than the AFC, but it's still the dang Cowboys, man. Come on. I think this team still has a chance to be good in future. I just think this year isn't their year. I think they're just hurt. I think they're old. I think that's the thing. They're just old. And their wide receiver, Rashee Rice, was out for the first 4 weeks. That killed them. Absolutely killed them. They started the year 1-3. And yes, Rashee Rice has been arguably the best wide receiver in football since coming back. But I'm just looking at them to strip down that defense and just rebuild it. That's all I have to say about the Chiefs. So, just recapping about the AFC, I got the Patriots finishing first, the Broncos second. I'd probably throw the Texans at third, and this is all just a list of who's going to be contenders in the AFC. List of contenders in the AFC. I'd put the Patriots at 1. I'd put the Broncos at 2. I'd put the Texans at 3. The Buffalo Bills at 4. And then after that, it's kind of a crapshoot. You could throw the Ravens in 5. The Jaguars at 6, or the Chargers at 6, the Jaguars at 7. You could even throw the Bengals at 8. I still think the Bengals have a chance. Yes, I know I said it. If I'm right, I'm pulling up this tape. If I'm right about this. But just a disclaimer, I think the Bengals still have an opportunity to win the AFC North. I'm not joking. They're going to walk into Buffalo this weekend and probably beat Buffalo. Joe Burrow is that dude, and that offense is ready to go red hot right now. So if I'm Buffalo, be ready for a track meet because it's going to be a shootout. And if you're a betting favorite, take the over in that game. Other than that, I'll probably take a gander at the NFC at another time just because we got to take a really deeper dive into NFC. But this is probably going to be my AFC video. I do got to go to work here, though, soon. In the next hour, I got to be at work, so I'm going to hop off here. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Stay warm out there if you're around the Massachusetts area and dealing with this cold that's going to be coming in here in the next week, in the next few days, I should say. Stay warm, stay happy, stay healthy. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.